I'm Avery.
And I'm Luke.
And this is the Blanka Podcast. So, One Punch Man was written by an author who goes under the pen name One, and it was redrawn by Yusuke Murata. So, as of May 2025, the series currently has 33 volumes, which is 208 chapters, with more to come later on. It was released in 2009 and stretches to the present date. So, in volumes 1 through 3 of the series, it follows the life of a man named Saitama, who is a hero for fun. He starts training after working a normal 9 to 5 for years. He decided he was done with his normal life, so he started doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and ran 10 kilometers every day. After years of doing this, he eventually becomes strong enough to defeat any foe with just one punch. He tries to help as many people as he can while doing it. Now, after he realizes his strength, he goes on to perform a bunch of great feats. He fights off a terrorist organization, and the terrorists were all wearing stolen military-grade combat suits that could, throw boulders and stuff, and he just kind of beat them all up. And shortly after he defeats the group of, bad guys, an assassin who was sent to originally deal with the bad guys tries to fight him, who can move at the speed of sound, and Saitama just beats him up as well. Now, the last arc between the 3 volumes is the House of Evolution. And so it's founded by this scientist who thinks that humans are weak, and he wants to make a super race by combining the best of mankind with, animals, like gorillas and snakes and mosquitoes and stuff. So he finds, again, he calls people weak, and he even calls them monkeys. And so subsequently to being called a monkey and having all these animals sent after him, Saitama infiltrates his base and kills their strongest warrior, Carnage Kabuto, who's like a beetle. So beetles are super duper strong, and then it's a little bit bigger than a human, so it just kind of scales with one punch. And the theme of killing enemies with one punch is reoccurring within the series.
Back to when you were talking about the terrorists. Do you know, why they were being terrorists?
They just didn't want to have jobs. Literally, they didn't want to work.
So they were just too lazy to get a job, so they wanted to destroy everything?
Yep, didn't want to get a JB, so they just started breaking stuff. They were called the Paradisers. Nobody works. Live off the riches.
Why did he even decide to go fight the terrorists?
Oh, they were all bald like him, and he didn't want to get mistaken for a Paradiser.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in his best interest.
So I read One Punch Man volumes 4 through 6. So volume 4, it starts off with a warning of a giant meteor heading towards City Z, which is where Saitama lives. So Saitama's student Genos meets Silver Fang at the heroes' headquarters, but neither of them have the strength to destroy the meteor. But Saitama comes in last second and destroys the meteor, but the citizens get mad at him because all the rubble that's still falling down, it still destroys a bunch of their stuff. But he saved it because City Z was going to get completely wiped out by the meteor, but only minor damages, and there were no deaths, it said. So
no deaths, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty lucky, even though there's a lot of debris. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the next volume 5, is the Deep Sea People arc, which they attack City J. With many heroes come try to fight them. Some of them, they kill a couple of the sea folk. One of them, Stinger, he kills a bunch, and then Genos, Saitama's student, comes in, fights their leader, but he gets beaten because he tries to save a small child. And all the heroes, they're just fighting. They couldn't do it. And right when the king was about to kill all the humans in the thing, a Class C hero, which Class C is really weak, called Moomin Rider comes in, and he distracts the Sea King for just long enough for Saitama to come in and arrive, kill the king, and save everyone. But in order to protect the other heroes' prides that lost, because all the other people thought all the other heroes were jokes because Saitama was able to beat him in one punch, he says that he stole the credit and all the other heroes did the work, which makes all the citizens hate him even more.
Wait, so these are the strongest heroes they have out there, and they can't even hurt the guy, and Saitama just gets him with one punch?
Well, most of them were not that strong.
Okay.
Only Genos. Genos was the only other Class S there.
Wasn't Puri Puri there?
No, that was before.
Got it.
He lost before, yeah. Genos was actually winning until he had to jump in front of a toxic attack to save a young girl.
Of course.
And then, so the next volume I read was volume 6 of One Punch Man, where all the Class S heroes are summoned to Heroes Headquarters, which they don't really know, but they all go. And since Saitama is the master of Class S hero Genos, he also decides to tag along. So we ended up meeting like all the Class S heroes, except for 2. Rank 1 Blast isn't there, and rank 6 Metal Knight also isn't there. But all the other heroes are there. So during the discussion, the heroes learn that the greatest prophet to ever live had died. She like predicted a bunch of natural disasters and terrible events that would happen, and she's never been wrong. And right before she died, she said the Earth is in grave danger. Something was going to destroy the Earth. And then that's where it ends off. So, pretty bad.
Oof.
Yeah. So, throughout the volumes I read, the story takes place in both City Z and J and the Hero Headquarters, which is all in Japan, which is just like a modern city, a little more futuresque with superheroes, pretty much. With headquarters just being a big skyscraper.
And mine takes place in the exact same areas for the most part. It's just urban and Japan, modern Japan. So some conflicts in volumes 1 through 3 is Saitama's fight with the bald guys, because they all are bald like him, and he wants to fight them. And people are thinking he's a bad guy, but really he's a hero. And another big one was the assassin guy, because he's supposed to be a big deal, because, he can move with the speed of sound. And Saitama defeats him in one punch, so the assassin decides to make it like his life's journey to kill Saitama. And he just keeps coming up trying to kill him, but he can't. But yeah, it goes pretty far into the series, so I would say it's important.
One thing I like to mention is during the fight with the Deep Sea King, I said the Class C hero stepped in and distracted him. I mean, if I was a Class C hero, that was like a really, really strong opponent. There's no way I would have went in. I knew I would die. But Moomin Rider was the Class C hero. He's so brave. He like just jumped in, risking his life, even though he's just like a normal guy on a bike. That's pretty much what he is. He distracted him. He was even getting the poop beat out of him. He was like getting slammed around, toyed with, but it distracted the monster for just long enough for Saitama to arrive, and I think that's just so it's just great.
It's great. He saved him.
Yeah.
So the reason that I chose to read One Punch Man is because when I was younger, I watched the show, and I watched like all of it super fast. I was a huge fan. It was really good. The artwork was good, like very good. It was very well drawn. Also thought Saitama's gimmick was pretty funny because, he's so strong that he beats everyone with one punch, so he just can't enjoy fights. And then seeing him get more serious about his job as time goes on, seeing that lives are at risk and he's not just going around having fun all willy-nilly, and actually starts to pick up the role as probably the strongest hero in the show. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it is very good. You should definitely check it out.
So, personally, I've loved this series. I watched it as soon as it was starting to air and come out. I watched it. It was just so good, which is one of the main reasons why I chose to read the series. The author, he's like a phenomenal writer. Both his plots are good and the character development in both One Punch Man, and he also wrote another series called Mob Psycho 100, which has really good characters. The character development and just overall characters is so good, and the fights are also really amazing. And also the person who redrew One Punch Man, Yusuke Murata, a lot of people consider the art he does for mangas to be some of the best art in comics. So it's just so good. I'll put some images up on screen so you can see what it looks like. They're just so good. So, going on to the manga success and sales, as of May 2024, the manga has sold over 31 million copies worldwide. And in 2016, One Punch Man won the Sugoya Japan Award, which is given out based on a public poll voted on by the Japanese audiences for like their favorite manga. And the author one also drew Mob Psycho 100, which is another pretty big manga, which also got the 62nd Shogakukan Award for the shonen action category, which is just like best shonen. They're both really good. Some pretty big milestones, but that's really all he's written, but they're both really good. So for volume 4, 5, and 6, they all have an overwhelming 92% 5-star review with no 2 or 1-star reviews on Amazon. One of the 5-star reviews, I believe it was for volume 5, was by Mike Manga States, that this volume is a lot more serious. This is the one with the Deep Sea King. It's a lot more serious than the others so far, but also finds ways to slip in comedy, which just shows like it's a comedy at heart, but it also like can be serious. It's a really good series. And another 5-star comment by Robert states that the series is fun because it pokes fun at others in the same genre, like shonen, that are trying to be overly serious, but also keeps him laughing. It's just goes to show you can make a comedy really good, like action, just amazing all around.
In volumes 1, 2, and 3, it followed this trend. I mean, it set the foundation for them to keep writing it, and it was extremely, extremely, extremely popular. And it ended up, setting them up to make more, and they did make more. There was a 5-star review. Their name was Audrey, and they suggested the series for the reasons mentioned prior. Like, it's sub-serious yet comedic effect. And that the show takes itself seriously, but it still makes you laugh. And, yeah, it's very good.
What makes it so good? That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Blanka Podcast.